talk like this.
Yeah, because you cut it. Yeah, go on.
Okay. So 3, 2, 1. So our van is a LDV Convoy minibus. It's a British make. They don't make them anymore. But originally it had 17 seats in it. It was blue, and it cost us about £2,000. So yeah, I'll take you inside and have a look. Okay, so seating area in the van. Basically, this is the sofa type seating area thing. It makes me laugh when everyone calls the van bench seat thing a sofa. It's not really a sofa, is it? It's just a box with some cushions on it. But you know what? It does the job for us. Originally, this was like a lot higher, but then we had to bring it down a couple levels, didn't we? And it's a lot more comfier. Inside then is just food storage. The top splits into 2 compartments, and it's all the dry food, pasta, tin food, sauces, spices, that sort of stuff. So that's where all the dry food is stored, and it's alright just for chilling out, having a brew on, maybe doing a bit of work. Yeah. So like dry food, stuff like eggs, loads of sauces, tin stuff, just everything that's going to keep and doesn't need to be like in the fridge or anything like that. So that's what's in there. This is the sort of kitchen unit we built from scratch, and on top of that we've got like a 2-burner LPG gas hobs. Underneath is literally just a box for throwing all our pots and pans in. Kind of don't use that many pots and pans when in the van, so we don't need a lot of storage. With only having 2 hobs and not an oven, you just seem to use the same wok, frying pan and normal pan, couple of plates and stuff, but loads of storage in there for that. On the side of it as well, we've got the 12 volt sockets as well, just for charging the phones and iPads. But overall this works really well. It is LPG. There's a refillable LPG cylinder at the back of the van, just a standard drawer as well. I think if we were going to do things differently, or maybe as an alternative idea, if you're not good at woodwork or you find it a challenge, maybe just like I said about a kitchen set of drawers, a bedroom set of drawers. You know, it's a similar size, shape, and also you'll have all the storage compartments of the drawers, and you could just sink this 2-burner into it. So that's an alternative that I could give. But yeah, overall works really well, and we use it all the time, don't we? Also had some tiles left over from when we did the bathroom, and it just gives it a bit of splashback, bit of protection when you're using the frying pan. Okay, so we had a few pine slats left over from the bed. I thought, why not knock up a simple little spice rack? And I can't recommend something like this. We're forever grabbing spices, salt, pepper, garlic, that sort of thing. So that's pretty good. This is a sink unit then. As you can see, it's a bit of a different type of sink. It's like a ceramic Moroccan sink. Lozz picked this, and I'm glad she did, because it adds loads of character to the van. If it was up to me, it'd just been a standard practical metal one. But it's great, and the good thing about this is it's a good size. Anything smaller you really struggle to wash your pots and pans, but this is great, and like I said, it adds loads of character to the van. To go with that then, we've got a copper tap. Now you can make these, but we found someone online who made them themselves, and we bought one off them. Really simple. With it being copper, it adds a bit of like an industrial look to it, and it just adds a bit of character as well. Underneath then, here is the 25 litre wastewater tank and 25 litre freshwater tank. It's such a simple system. In there's a 12 volt pump to the freshwater tank and out through the tap, drains through the plug hole into your wastewater. It's so simple, it's the easiest way to do things. It's completely separate to the shower system. Out on the road in Turkey, Greece, Albania, it's quite hard to find drinkable sources of water, and if you only need to fill up a smaller tank, it's a lot easier. Also, if you ever have a problem with your plumbing or a burst pipe on one of the systems, you've still got the other one. So if the shower goes, we've still got the sink. If the sink goes, we've still got the shower. So it's great to have separate systems. That's it really for the sort of kitchen and cooking side of things. Standard van problems, every time we go around a roundabout, the doors like to fling open. It's one of them jobs we've just not got around to doing, putting proper locks on it, but I'm sure anyone in a van knows the cupboard door situation can just be a nightmare. Okay, fridge situation then. We've got a three-way fridge. That basically means that it can either run off LPG, 240 volt or 12 volt. We run it off the 12 volt system. It's about 45 litres in capacity, I think. It's perfect for storing food. Only trouble we've had in the summertime when the temperatures are really hot, especially when we've been abroad, like Greece and heat waves, that fridge really struggles to keep the food cold, and it really does start to drain the batteries. It's not an issue this time of year in England. We don't have it switched on all the time. It keeps stuff cool anyway. We don't have a lot of meat products in there most of the time either, so it works really well as a sort of cool place to store food, and it tucks away perfectly under the bed. Start again. Start again. Oh, this is our shower, and when we were building the van, this was probably one of the must-haves. We said two things: a fixed bed and a shower. And the shower has been an absolute game changer. You know, even though this van's a long wheelbase, it's not the biggest van, but having a shower just demonstrates that you can quite easily fit a shower into your van build. For us, being able to go out hiking, going to work, Lozz is a nurse, so you know you need a shower after every shift. This is just perfect, and I know a lot of people in vans don't have showers. That works for them, but it can be quite hard work trying to find a shower when you've not got one. You know, with the whole leisure centre thing, this is just perfect. The fact we can have a hot and cold shower is amazing. When we were away in Europe, especially during the heat wave, being able to come back, have a cold shower before bed, absolute game changer. So inside the shower then, you can see that there is a bit of a funky design going on. Again, this is Lozz's influence. It's a vinyl, and we've had quite a few questions about this vinyl. It's a stick sort of application, completely waterproof. If you type in Jess Rose vinyl into Instagram, you'll be able to find it. Worked really well. The only thing is we've had to do a little repair job in the middle. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it in one go, so we had to cut it in half, and we've had to do a little sealant job there. But apart from that, it's been perfect. So inside the shower, I should say, is the toilet. And we've got the Thetford cassette toilet. It's a chemical toilet. Had absolutely no dramas with it. Thinking back, we have had problems with our Thetford toilet. So for those of you who have got a toilet similar to this or like this, what I would advise, or like a bit of a tip, is to lubricate any sliding parts. Bit of WD-40 or the actual Thetford seller product that you can use to lubricate it. When you're out in Europe or wherever you go in your van travelling, in really hot, dusty climates, these sort of mechanisms can become really dry and the seals can perish. That's what happened to us. We had to get rid of it, but we learned from it, and a bit of WD-40 every now and then. We're debating between going to a composting toilet or whether to stick to a chemical toilet. For us, the chemical toilet works fine. There's so many products out there now, eco-friendly products and whatnot. There's absolutely no smell with it or anything. The big thing as well is you've actually got some privacy when you go to a toilet. In a lot of other van builds I've seen online and stuff, the toilet's kind of a pull-out sort of situation in the main living area, but actually having a bit of privacy when you're on the throne is brilliant. So overall, the shower is probably our most favourite thing about the van, and we're just so glad that we built it. Side of the shower wall then, you can see we've got this rattan mirror that I think you got from, is it Dunelm? Dunelm, yeah. You've got a rattan mirror from Dunelm. Perfect for me because I can just basically see everything below my head. The shower organisers then, these are brilliant for the van. You just fill them with toothpaste, toiletries, shower stuff. It just keeps everything out the way and also easy to grab when you're in the shower. So anything like that, that's perfect for in the van, and just keeping it out the way. Really cool picture from a good friend here. Unfortunately, I think we've hit some speed bumps a little bit too hard, and it just completely fell off the back doors. So we're keeping this here until we find a good place to put it. So I said we got hot water for the shower, and that's done by a instant tankless hot water heater, which is fed from the LPG tank at the back of the van. When we were looking on how to get the hot water, we were looking at products that were coming in excess of like £500. It wasn't within our budget, so we found the Chinese tankless hot water heater online. Some people might say, oh, it's not safe, and you know, be really careful having that in the van. We get that, we know that. So to get around that, basically, we flued it out through the ceiling. We made sure we got one of them for the CO2. We vented on the side of the van, and also, just as luck would have it, it's situated not far from our Fiamma roof vent. So we just crack that open when we're having a shower to get ventilation into the van. Also, when you shower in the van, you're not having super long showers like you might do when you live in a house. You're always trying to conserve your water, so it's not on for that lengthy period of time, and it doesn't get really long usage. So we feel like we've got around that problem, and we've had no problems with it so far. We got rained off yesterday, so this is the second day of filming, so that's why I look a bit different. The back of the van then, so start off with the bed. The bed is probably shorter than a double in length, shorter in width, but the most important fact is we can both sleep in it from top to toe comfortably. You put a little bit extra money into getting a really good mattress, like the memory foam mattress, just awesome. If you're sleeping in the van or living in the van full time, definitely spend a little bit more on your mattress. We've got like two little alcove type walls at the back. They just help separate the bed space from sort of like the whole living area space. Just makes it feel a bit more cosy as well. As you can see from here and from this angle as well, we've got the shower water heater as well. It's just flued out to the top of the roof like that. Up above the bed then, we've got the just two basic storage cupboards as well, just for chucking clothes in and that. Back of the van is where it's like, people kind of call it like the garage port sort of thing. Stuff just to chuck the tools in, and where usually the electrics are, that sort of thing. So for us then, starting off here is a homemade gas locker. In here is a safe fill LPG gas bottle. This has been awesome. It's the last time I filled it up was in February. Before that was November. It cost us about, on that fill cost us about £7, so gas is really cheap. So in there's a safe fill gas bottle, and you've got your regulator as well. People can be a little bit wary about installing gas into the van. You know, we've got a homemade gas locker here. It's wood. I think the standard in the industry is a metal gas locker, but always get it done by a professional is my advice. This gas locker, yeah, it's wood, it's sealed, but we've got a drop-out vent to the bottom of the van. If there is a gas leak, the gas will come out of the gas locker and fall through the floor and disperse into the atmosphere, basically. So the gas supplies two appliances. It's the gas hob and the shower heater. The way to do that is to install a gas manifold. We've got a gas manifold with two isolators on it because it supplies two appliances. If you've got more gas appliances, you just get a bigger manifold, basically. In terms of safety then, the safe fill gas bottle will only ever fill up to 80%, so you can't overfill it, so it is really safe. Lozz is a bit paranoid about gas, but she lights a candle every night with not blowing up, and yeah, perfect. Thing then, I like to carry loads of tools, well, not loads of tools, but enough to get us by. Basically carry everything to try and get us out of any situation. Just stuff like, oh, petrol can as well, but just stuff like socket set, spanners, screwdrivers, that sort of thing. You don't have to go mad on tools, but I'd say just make sure you've got enough just to get you out of like any sort of situation that you might find yourself in. Flat tyre, loose cables, loose connectors, that sort of thing. Behind there then, shower tank. So this is a 60 litre square shower tank, and obviously this is what supplies the shower. In terms of how much usage we get out of that, I'd say we get about 5 days, don't we? when you're living in a van and you have a shower, you learn to shower super efficiently, but still get a good shower. So a full tank can actually easily last us the best part of 5 days. So I say best part of 5 days. If you're washing your hair, then I'm talking we're getting 2 days maximum out of that, aren't we? So this side then is diesel heater tank. We have got a Chinese diesel heater in this van. I'm sure if you've seen loads of van videos, Chinese diesel heater is really common. It's common because it's just awesome. It's instant heat. We couldn't survive in this van without it, could we? It's just brilliant, and it doesn't use a lot of diesel. It's really super efficient. Yeah, definitely a must-have if you're living in a van, because when it gets cold, if you've not got heating, it's miserable. We're toasty all the time. Right, so here is the snake's wedding. Now this is the electrical system, and as you can see, it's extremely untidy. I've done a few repair jobs on it, I've extended a few cables, and I've just not got round to tidying it. But the facts are, we've got 125 amp hour AGM leisure battery, a PWM 10 amp solar charge controller, got, as you can see in the dark, a Victron B2B battery charger. All buried behind there, we've got a 600 watt sine wave, pure sine wave inverter, which leads to an extension cable in the van for anything sort of like household that you need to plug into. For the electrical system, our system I'd say is probably one of the most basic systems you can get. Before we had the Victron B2B charger, we had a split charge relay. I think it cost me about £60 to install that, and that is the most basic way of charging your leisure batteries from the engine, a split charge relay, and it will work. I think though, as your batteries get a bit more sophisticated with AGM and lithium, you need to move to a B2B charger, because they will deliver a smarter charge more efficiently. So that's the upgrade we've done. It's winter time, we're not getting enough solar, we haven't got enough solar, we are upgrading it, so we've moved to a B2B charger to try and get some more charge into the batteries. Inverter wise, yeah, we've got a 600 watt inverter, and we actually don't need to upgrade it. We don't seem to need anything more than 600 watts, do we? We've got iPads, phones, cameras, we just plug them in and it seems to work perfectly. At the beginning I was thinking about getting something like a 2000 watt inverter, but it's just overkill, don't need it. Battery wise, so I said we've got 125 amp hour battery. For about 9 months I'd say, that's been absolutely perfect. But it's getting to the stage now where I think we probably might upgrade to maybe something like 200 amp hours. So yeah, potential upgrades, solar and batteries. So that's the end of our van tour video, and I hope you've enjoyed it. It's the first video that we've done on our YouTube channel, isn't it? And it's a bit strange talking to the camera.
It does feel a bit weird, but it's alright.
Yeah, it's fine. It just doesn't feel like natural and that. Yeah. But yeah, it's the first video on the YouTube channel, and
we've got loads planned, haven't we?
We've got loads planned, loads coming up, loads of good stuff, and we're looking forward to documenting it for ourselves, aren't we? But I'm putting it out there at the same time. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it, and thanks for watching, basically.
Yeah, thank you.